So if you manually color code rows, maybe to indicate status, maybe who should be working on that, or something else, in today's video, I'm going to explain why this is not a good idea and what you should do instead. So right off the bat, one thing is it's hard to restrict what colors people use. And so you might have someone that uses red as an example as a cancellation, and someone else may come in here and decide, no, gray makes sense to me. And the next thing you know, you have many colors representing the same status. Another thing is if someone comes in one or more rows and changes them back to this color, if you come in here, you can't immediately tell what it should be. So you go to edit history and it doesn't tell you the color, it just tells you the text. So for example, if I come in here and delete this one, I can go to this, go to edit history and see this is what was deleted. And so I can restore it very quickly right in that cell. But you can't do the same thing with colors. And so you'd have to go back to version history and figure out where the change got made and how to fix it. So what I recommend is using a status column or an assignment column. So we can go ahead and just add one here. And in this case, we'll just call it status, but you can call it whatever makes sense for your scenario. Then what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a dropdown. And now you can add different options. So maybe this option could be sold, pending, canceled, and refund. And you can actually add colors directly to the drop downs. So we could do something like this. And then we can do it just like this. Now, if you want the entire row to be highlighted, then let's jump into the next part. So first of all, let's reset this. And if you want to highlight the entire row, then what we're going to do is add conditional formatting. So go to formatting, conditional formatting, and then I only have this first row selected. So make sure you have the entire thing. So here we have A to F now. And then we want to go to a custom formula. And then we're going to start with equals and then a $sign and then the column of where our statuses are. So this would be B. And then we're going to put the number corresponding with our first starting row. So in this case, 2. And then I can do equals again, double quotes, and then that status. So for example here, sold. And so then we can select what color we want that row to be, just like that. Now, if at this point you don't want a color or different color on this dropdown, then what we're going to want to do is go back and edit this dropdown and then go to reset on these, and I'll reset those to a blank. And so we hit done. Now it's like this, which it still kind of has a color. So if you don't want that as well, then come over here, go to advanced options, and then set that to arrow, just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and select the rest of these options, and then we'll add some more rules to highlight those accordingly. So let's go ahead and just take this rule. We're going to add another one. Then we're just going to change our text in here. So we can call this pending. And we'll change this maybe to a blue. And then we go like this. So if you're wondering, I don't see this, how do I get back to this? If you're anywhere in here, just select format and conditional formatting. And then you can see those rules there. So it might have pulled up like this on you. And if so, you can click cancel, or you can change that apply to your range. If you already have a rule, then you can go ahead and copy it from here. It's just a little faster than creating from scratch. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then you add another rule here at the bottom. And so this is a copy of the rule that we just had. So now we can adjust this to canceled. And maybe this one will be a gray. And then finally, let's do a refund. So again, add another rule and change this to refund. And this one can be red, just like that. So now they will automatically highlight based on whatever we put in here. And so we can go to sold, green, pending, blue, and so forth. And so as it progresses through the different statuses, it will automatically highlight that row based on your selection. And you can do this whether it's a status or a name, sector, whatever it is that you need to highlight based on. And then finally, a big advantage of selecting statuses like this is it makes it easy to make reports. And so I'm just going to show you a quick example in place. I'm just going to do a quick SUMIFS here and select our amount and do it based on status. And then we can even put it to a status in here that we select. And so we can make this maybe a drop down and put our sold, pending, canceled, and refund. Maybe we'll change this to an arrow as well. And then if we select a status here, you can see now we get a total. So we could put this like this, something like this. Maybe center this real quick. And same thing here. And now if we select another status, you can see that gets added as well. Canceled doesn't, but if we go to canceled, now we can see a total of those canceled, which is these two, which would be 1448, just like that. All right, so that is it for today's video on how to color code rows automatically. Make sure to check out the other videos on our channel for more tutorials on both Google Sheets and AppScript. And as always, have a great day.